welcome to Anne-Marie's workshop. My name is Anne-Marie and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy or watch people who make things with joy, you found the right place. Thank you for coming back. Please like, subscribe, and share. Now, so for those of you who were unable to see my live streams on Instagram every morning of my a retreat in Montego Bay, you didn't get a chance to see some of the buys, some of the things that I picked up while I was there. So this is a video featuring all the things I picked up in Montego Bay during my sewing retreat. If you should happen to have a few minutes on a layover, I don't see how, but if you get to Jamaica early or have to leave late, take a taxi ride from the Montego Bay Airport about 2 miles away and treat yourself to some Pings and some Pablo fabric stores. Okay, so where to begin? I bought so much fabric and so much fabric called to me that I'm just gonna reach behind me and get started. All right, so I recently have understood how dead stock stores work, and I'm convinced that Pings is a dead stock store. Simply because the rolls that the fabric come on, I usually think there's maybe 15, 20 yards on a roll. Also, I have seen fabric on these rolls that I've seen on finished items at like Neiman Marcus, to name a few, as well as Palais Royal, different types of different levels of stores. So I think it's a dead stock store. Now, Pablos, intriguingly, is a combination. They've got rolls of fabric, they've got buckets of dead stock, as well as they have flat fold fabric on the folds from floor to ceiling on the first floor, going along each of the walls. Hopefully I'm showing it to you over here. Plus they have rolled fabric on those telltale rolls that make me think that they're dead stock. So an intriguing concept of having both. Plus, they also have those famous buckets that Pings has. Pings has buckets that you dig through and find amazing things. So let us start with, oh my goodness. Let me see. I think I'm gonna start with my favorite section of Pings that I like to visit, and that's the $150 a yard clearance section. That translates to 91 cents or 94 cents a yard US. Now, this is not the section you go to when you think that you're looking for something in particular, but this time Pings had something for me. I have been trying to match or to find a lining for this sheer Italian charmeuse, no. I knew what it was before. Georgette, no. It's just beautiful. And I made this dress with it. 5 layers, Tom and Linda Platt pattern. Absolutely loved it. I think Fabric Mart Fabrics sold me this fabric. Absolutely love it. It's super delicate. Only problem is the Anne Klein shirt that I wanted to make needed a facing in the collar and in the front facing, and I was struggling to find something to back it. The white was too white, the brown was too dark, and this was on the 150 yard section at Ping's. It is perfection behind this georgette. Can you even see it? No, you can't. Okay, so this is Simplicity 161, and this is one of my favorite patterns. I have made this shirt in a beautiful red charmeuse, and I absolutely love it because it is a V-neck with a pussy bow in the front. Goes with everything. It has a beautiful curved edge. It has a pleat at the back, and I loved it so much that I wanted it as a dress. So on this retreat, I had the time to extend the pattern an additional, I think 14 inches or 10 inches to make it a dress. And I can't wait to work on it. Now, while I was in the Pings section, because I was dying to find something, I came across this in the $150 a yard section, just enough to make this beautiful dress. So that was a great find. Now this next find was a black poly cotton, not opaque, and I bought 10 yards of it because I'm always looking for black to go along. If I'm color blocking, if I'm working on a pair of pants or something like that, I'm always looking for this quality of fabric to work with. The only thing I think was wrong with this fabric is that it was wrapped incorrectly on the tube. It was kind of crushed, which I and the lady working in the shop were able to smooth it out, and it came home with me because I use this fabric all the time. Now, as a quilter, I love this flannel piece of fabric. I can understand why it wasn't a cup of tea for everyone, but I think this would have been gorgeous as pajamas. But I use a lot of flannel as a in-between lining on my quilts, also sometimes on my quilt backings, but mostly in between, so it really didn't matter what the pattern was. So I got what was left on the roll. Once again, 91 cents a yard. And I have to admit, nothing was less than 60 inches. Now this was a great white t-shirt knit. A bit more polyester than cotton in it. Absolutely loved it for t-shirts and other items. I got 4 yards of this. And let's see, anything else from the, yes. Now I have to admit, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with this. I have seen it there for, I think at least last year this time, September, when I went to my retreat, and this was the last of the roll, and I finally took the plunge and got it. And you will see when I figure out what I'm doing with it, you'll see what I come. I know it's going to be fun. I know it's going to be fun. Now, I did not buy this fabric this time. I bought it in September. It got caught up in the madness because I was going to cut it out. But it is a stripe jersey knit. And these sequins are actually, they're not pasted on, they are stitched in. All right, so I can't wait to work with this. I found a beautiful pattern at Style Arc that I'm going to use this for. So I think that fabric is $250 a yard. I think is $1.74 US. Okay. All right. So now, from the infamous buckets which I think this is an ITY. I believe it is $700. All right, so this is from one of the buckets. I loved this night sky space. There's only about, I think, a yard and a half, 72 inches wide. It's enough to make a cute shirt. And I love the palette. And it was $750 a pound. You can imagine how much it weighs. It's not a pound. I think it would have been $583 if it was a whole pound. Okay, so in the Lycra bucket, they had this printed knit with this fruit motif that I really, really liked. It was, I think $700 a pound, and I found 2 pieces. So I think I have quite a bit. I really like it. I think it'd be nice for bedtime wear and other things like that. So I thought I really loved this print with the apples and the pineapples and such. Now I love Ankara, so I'm always very interested in what they have to offer as far as Ankara at Ping's. They offer a lighter Ankara, which I love for Jamaica. I do like my heavier House of Mami Wata type of Ankara, but I do love the lighter because it's more practical here in Jamaica. Alrighty, so this is one of the first prints that I got. $500 a yard, which I think is $3.83 a yard for this Ankara. So I got 6-yard lengths, just like the traditional paddles that you get when you order Ankara. I also got this. I love the navy, the copper, and the beige. That is one of my favorite combinations. I got that one. And let's see. Oh, I've got more. And I got this because I had previously made, with these coordinating colors, I previously made a reversible jacket. And now I think I can make a beautiful dress that will go under it and complement or be spectacular against it. Okay, so this, I got 6 yards of this as well. Now, you may think that my purchases were excessive, but I no longer have access to Joann's. So now, as far as Ankara, I got this knit styled Missoni-esque kind of Ankara.
They hit it big with the Ankara.
We hit it big. Linda's visiting me. The retreat goes on.
My retreat goes on.
Her retreat goes on. All right, and this is another Ankara that I really like the design of. It's kind of spacey, kind of interesting. All righty. So one of the other things I found on the $150 a yard section was this red cotton. It is so very much like Kona cotton. I absolutely love it. I do a lot of quilting. It's also a nice, solid cherry red, good for my skin color. So I got what was left on the roll. All right, so I also checked out their clearance section up in their household goods and came across this beautiful fabric that has an imitation cowhide print. Now, this has, being from Texas, this has many implications in houseware, but cowboy is not really what's going on in this house, but a coat. I know. I don't need a coat in Jamaica, but I think my friend Connie might. So I bought this. It was $5 a yard. I think it's 60 to 72 inches wide, and I got the little that was left on the roll. It's time to go upstairs. Now upstairs in Ping's is where their housewares are. They have all sorts of sheeting, bedding, upholstery, leather pieces, foam, all the things that you would need for housewares. But they also have logo brands. And so this is a Louis Vuitton print that I'm going to make something with. I don't know exactly what, but I think I'd like to make a bomber jacket in them. So this is the Louis Vuitton brown and beige. And then I got the Louis Vuitton red and black. Now, I'm not a big brand person, but I just think this fabric is very attractive. It's substantial but flexible. I don't know exactly what Louis Vuitton does with it. It looks like it's handbag material. All right. And then I also got it in black and a kind of a beigey gold. All right. So now I'm at the top of one bag, a giant bag, and tomorrow I will show you what I picked up from Pablos. Okay, so it's the next day, and I forgot to include the 10 yards of interfacing I bought. I am not sure how many pennies this was. I'll have to look it up and get back to you. But let's continue on. Now, these pieces of the Louis Vuitton logo fabric are for my cousins in England. She liked the CK. I think her sister liked the Coach. And I think this is more of the, yeah, there's more. There's more down here. So they each got some. All right, so I'm going to take those downstairs, box those up, and send it to them in England. Now let's move on to Pablo's. I have to admit, I was looking for more of the red linen that I bought. It was such a beautiful thing to sew. I love the hand of it. It's just right for the heat. But unfortunately for me, the ladies there said that they never got that linen in a navy. I was looking for the navy. But they had marigold, mint, taupe. What else? The red, of course, but no black. Gorgeous. So a friend of mine bought quite a bit of that linen, so you'll be seeing some of her things. Now, I bought the last of the white that was on the bolt. Now, remember, Pablo's has both flat fold fabric as well as dead stock on the spools, as well as fabric that's in the bucket. So let me show you some of their things. So that white linen is there, and they have all different types of linen. They also have a major men's section. So if you're interested in wools and linens and everything that have a decidedly male slant to it, they're your people. All right, so hopefully you're seeing it over here. All right, so in their bucket, in their stripe bucket, for $300 a pound, I found this athletic wear kind of stretch fabric with this vibrant, they're all kind of neon colors, but together they seem almost neutral. It's really cute. So I have someone who loves these kind of things, so I'm going to make them something with that. Now, I'm going to show you one fabric to show you why I was attracted to this next fabric. I was minding my own business, walking through my local Pings, and I saw this flocked satin charmeuse, whatever you want to call it. This is the other side. It's not taffeta. All right. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? But I thought, oh, the color and the flockness of it. So I got it, even though I thought to myself, it's so magnificent. It really needs to be a single item. It doesn't need to be chopped up into pieces. It needs to be like a skirt or the bottom of a gown. And I was walking through the bucket section at Pablos. And look what I found. It is a heavy stretch knit. Only stretches one way. With the fleur-de-lis. So now I have the top of my gown and the coat. Ooh. Once more, into the same bucket, different section, I found this stretch knit. And it has a decidedly butterfly vein to it. I thought it was so beautiful. It also was in the, it's not a stripe, so it was a printed knit. It wasn't 300 a pound. It was decidedly more, maybe anywhere between 5 and 7. I will look up the receipts at the very end so I can give you some clarity. Now, Pablo also has a wonderful Ankara section. The double-sided trapeze dress that I worked on this month, both of those pieces were side by side when I went to visit Pablo's. I'll see if I have a picture to insert here. If not, I'll insert the picture of the trapeze dress. But they had this one piece of Ankara. Now, I didn't need any because remember, I'd already got quite a bit of pings. But this design was calling to me. Now, I bet you're thinking, what's it saying? Don't buy you. But this color palette, all right, 4 yards, I bought at $5.95, which I think is $3.81 or $4.27 or something like that. But I bought 4 yards of this to make something crazy. You remember that wonderful cow print that I thought I might make a coat out of? On the second floor of Pablo's, they have beautiful satin as well as, oh, what do they call it? Charmeuse, whatever. Anyway, I bought this as a lining. I think it was $300 and something a yard, I think. If I'm wrong, I'll find the tag and correct it. So I bought enough to make a lining in this animal print. Since we're already in the animal print world, we might as well go all whole hog. My girlie couldn't come to the retreat. It was just too much. She had just been New Zealand, Australia, then back to Seattle for a party, and she tried, but then she got sick. So I got her this beautiful polyester blend fabric for her to do. These are her colors. And I got her this one. Same material. Okay. So I'll be boxing hers up as well. Now, is this the last piece, guys? Are we done? I think we're done. Hold on. Now, I love myself some Farm Rio. I do. I love myself some Farm Rio. And my daughter talked about making this dress. And so I got her this. It is a chiffon. It is sheer. It'll have to be lined, but I bought her quite a few yards of this. And I had already bought myself some because I walked past it 3 times. The 2 times we went, I kept looking at it. And I love myself some Farm Rio also. Not saying that this is Farm Rio. Just saying I love myself some Farm Rio. And this is the last piece of fabric I bought. Now this was on a flat fold bolt. No. Yeah, what? Maybe it was on a roll. I'm not sure. So I'm not sure if it's dead stock enough. So then I also bought some rolls of thread. I got a navy, chartreuse green, blueberry pink, and I got this embroidery thread because the napkins I'm making in burgundy on the back side, this is the embroidery thread for the back. The poinsettias that I'm embroidering on the napkin are different colors on the front, but the back, I'd like to be the same color as the napkin. Okay. All right, so I am going to find all of my receipts to give you an idea of the price range, but everything is more than reasonable. Those are the only two fabric stores that we went to while we were at the retreat. I believe Ping's has 6 locations. I only know of the other. Pablos is the only one I know of is in this one in Montego Bay. There's one in industrious. And there's one in Kingston. If there are more, I will do the research and let you know. So what were some of the pros and cons of the retreat this year? Well, last year, I can't really think of any of the cons. So this year, the pros were the company, the sewers who came, the location. It was comfortable. It was sweet. It was easy to maneuver. It was a 5-minute ride to Ping's and Pablos. Oh my God. It was a 6-minute ride to the beach. It was in the other direction, a 10-minute ride to Scotchy's Jerk Shack. It was so well done. And Clive, the proprietor of the Blue Orchid, made us welcome, made us comfortable. And it was an intimate, sweet hotel, and we had a great time. The food was great, if I do say so myself. And Ping's and Pablo's showed out for us. New arrivals, something for everyone, so many things that happened, serendipitous finds in their shops, the restaurants, the ambiance, the people. We had a fabulous time. I think I'm going to be doing it every year. Hope I can only fit 8 people. So if you're interested, let me know next year, January. I'll be getting ready again. Alrighty, take care.